Everybody's trying to make the cheapest version of protein powder, cheapest version of a pre-workout. That's purely about margin. That's not really about the consumer. It's not really about the elite level athlete. A few things that are really important to me at the very start of setting up VOW, and if you like, going back to VOW, the VOWs that we've made and commitments we wanted to do. One of those, which was really important to me, was to be a fully UK manufactured brand. It's not very easy because obviously you can't manufacture all the ingredients in the UK. Some of the ingredients, if you like, has to be manufactured outside of the UK, but it's finishing the product, manufacturing the full product in the UK was a really, really important process to us. All the way through to we've now actually started to manufacture the packaging in the UK as well. In the past, most jars for products and pouches have all been produced abroad and so on and so forth. And I know from my own experience and having done that's the way it was. But we've managed to find a manufacturer and a printer in the UK, and we're actually producing our 100% recyclable pouches in the UK, and then we manufacture the product in the UK. So the whole process now is UK based. That was incredibly important to me. One, we can be in control of it. I can jump in the car and visit any location in which we're manufacturing a product. We can be in full control of what goes on. We can check the facilities, and we know everything is at the quality and the level that we expect to have with our product, and the promise that we make to the consumer. So that was one of the biggest vows and commitments, if you like, I wanted to do at the very start of this whole project. Everything to be UK based and UK manufactured. Another area that's really, really important to me as well was, personally, I feel this is an industry where innovation's lacked for a long time and been very much disrupted by the internet market. And what's happened is, everybody's trying to make the cheapest version of protein powder, the cheapest version of, a pre-workout, whatever it may be. And that isn't where we wanted to focus. That's purely about margin. That's not really about the consumer. It's not really about the elite level athlete. So what I really wanted to do was innovate the market and try and leapfrog the businesses that are very successful businesses and were maybe once a lot better than they are today, but leapfrog them on quality of product. So we can stand, or I personally can be proud of everything that we put into the market, and I can stand there and say, well, look, I use that product myself. It's important to me. That's why we worked on supplements like the creatine chews. Creatine, one of the proven supplements, it works. It's most researched supplement in the world, but it's not just a gimmick. It's proven with creatine that you have to take it with some kind of a sugar spike to get the maximum effect. So very much back in the day, the first lot of research on creatine was take it with an orange juice, gives you a sugar spike, an insulin spike, and it pushes the creatine into the bloodstream much quicker. Orange juice is quite high in calories, most sugary spiked drinks are quite high in calories. So making it as a chew and adding dextrose, that actually gives you a much quicker uplift into the bloodstream. So it's not just a gimmick and a great tasting product, it's actually more effective to take creatine that way. Plus it allows you to load creatine in during the day, which personally for me, I find that the most efficient way to take creatine. Just keep it in the bloodstream, keep it in on a daily basis, so when you do come to work out, it's there and it's ready to go. So that was just kind of one example of the innovation that we're trying to do and how we're trying to kind of disrupt the market. We're bringing things out that may look a bit gimmicky, but actually they're not. They're actually a benefit. And the other main part for us is there's quite a process to actually bring the product to market. One, we come up with an idea. On paper it looks good, we think, this is going to work, and then we make it doesn't work. There's a disruption on maybe even how the blend or the powder mixes, how the flavor changes, color changes. So there's a big kind of sample process in this. Me personally, I take things back to the raw. I like to use raw ingredients on their own, test them, see what the benefits are in my own training. So it's my own personal opinion of whether that supplement works, whether it doesn't work, whether I get a benefit. And that's not based on research, that's just based on how I feel. And having trained for the number of years that I've trained, I generally know whether I'm feeling different, whether I'm feeling better, whether I'm feeling worse, whether I'm recovering the way I want to recover. So I pull things right back to the raw, and then we start to mix the powders, we mix the blends. Now, we don't just come up with a sample version 1 and bring it to market. These things take a bit of a process, and we work with some great R&D teams. We have to keep going back to the drawing board. We have to keep making changes. Some flavors don't work, some flavors do work. Amino acids are really bitter, so when we did the amino chews, we had to work on flavors like a lemon flavor and a berry flavor where you expect to get the kind of bitterness kickback of it. And creatine, we've got creatine mints. Mints don't work with aminos. So there's a lot of research and development that goes into this whole process, and it's not a rushed process either. It's very much a calculated and a controlled and a time-consuming process to get a finished product to market that we're actually happy with, that we're happy to sign off and then start trying to figure out what we're going to call it.